over the dark waters of the Kerch Strait, a swarm of Russian Mi-8 gunship helicopters swoops down through the winter night toward their prey, a group of Ukrainian Sea Baby naval drones. Despite their innocent-sounding name, these unmanned vessels have sunk millions of dollars worth of warships, forced Russia's Black Sea Fleet to retreat from Crimea, and severed crucial military supply lines. Despite the damage they've caused, the Russian pilots are confident. Everybody knows the Sea Baby's only effective method of attack is ramming their explosive-laden hulls into their targets. They're sure to be utterly defenseless against the overwhelming aerial firepower of the helicopter's 23mm cannon pods and radar-guided missiles. But tonight, something is different. As the Mi-8s close in for the attack, they suddenly realize they've bitten off more than they can chew. These Sea Babies are packing a powerful surprise, one that might just change the face of the conflict in Ukraine. The Sea Baby. Having lost the majority of its naval force when Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, Ukraine had to find innovative ways to challenge Russian maritime supremacy. In July 2022, Ivan Vladimirovich Lukashevich, Brigadier General of the Security Service, proposed the idea of unmanned attack boats. Early designs were developed in collaboration with the Ukrainian Navy and private companies, but the Security Service soon decided to develop the drones independently. While their counterparts at Ukraine's Defense Intelligence focused on the smaller, more maneuverable Mogora V5 for attacking ships at sea, the Security Service designed the Sea Baby with a heavier payload, specifically to strike vessels in port, relying on stealth to approach their targets before detonating their explosive cargo. The Sea Babies were soon deployed to take on Russia's seemingly untouchable Black Sea Fleet. Initially, it wasn't all smooth sailing. During one of their first missions, in which they were sent to strike a Russian frigate in Sevastopol, they suffered from connectivity issues, leaving some units stranded. However, engineers were quick to rectify the problem, implementing multiple redundant communication systems to prevent this from happening again. The Sea Babies quickly proved their worth. In July 2023, they struck the Crimean Bridge, causing significant damage to its abutment and span. 2 months later, they successfully attacked the Russian corvette Samum, which was later seen being towed with a noticeable list. The strikes continued through autumn, with the patrol ship Pavel Derzhavin falling victim in October, followed by the reconnaissance vessel Vladimir Kozitsky in December. In August 2023, both the Sea Baby and Mogora V5 were integrated into a groundbreaking new unit, the 385th USV Brigade, the world's first military formation dedicated to unmanned surface vessels. While the drones remained under the operational control of their respective agencies, this organizational innovation marked another step in Ukraine's pioneering approach to naval warfare. By the end of that year, the Sea Baby's explosive payload had increased dramatically from 108 to 850 kilograms, giving the drones the capability to have an even greater impact on their targets. They proved so effective that they were able to drive many vessels of the Russian fleet from its long-held headquarters in Crimea to the relative safety of Novorossiysk in southwestern Russia. Yet, for all their success against ships and static targets, the Sea Babies had one critical vulnerability. They were largely defenseless against the aircraft and patrol boats Russia had assigned to hunt them. The Russians understood this weakness, deploying Mi-8 gunships and Raptor-class vessels to patrol the waters around Crimea. Their strategy was simple: intercept and destroy the drones before they could reach their targets. On occasion, Ukraine had attempted to equip some Sea Babies with R-73 infrared air defense missiles, as seen in May 2024, when one attempted to engage a Ka-29 helicopter, but was only able to launch one missile before being destroyed by gunfire. It was clear that these early defensive measures were inadequate. The Russians grew increasingly confident in their ability to neutralize the drone threat. It seemed likely that these hunters would always have the upper hand against these seemingly vulnerable prey. Significant upgrades. However, the Ukrainians were undeterred. The program's overall success sparked a wave of public support, so when the country's authorities launched a fundraising campaign for more Sea Babies in February 2024, the response was overwhelming. Through a partnership between the Ukrainian government platform United 24, digital bank Monobank, and prominent activists Serhiy Sternenko and Ihor Lechenkov, citizens raised nearly 300 million hryvnias, over $7 million in just 48 hours, enough to purchase 35 new drones. The Sea Baby platform soon demonstrated remarkable versatility as engineers began developing increasingly complex variants. Before long, they had created new versions capable of carrying rocket artillery or serving as motherships for smaller aerial drones. However, their most significant evolution came with the integration of large-caliber machine guns and advanced targeting systems. These weapons turned the drones into lethal unmanned warships, capable of engaging multiple threats while maintaining their original strike capabilities. What's more, the upgraded Sea Baby's sophisticated artificial intelligence means they can operate autonomously as well as under direct control. In autonomous mode, the system can plot optimal times, detect and avoid obstacles, and adapt to changing combat conditions in real time. At the same time, their minimal radar signature and quiet operation make them difficult to detect, while their targeting systems can automatically identify and engage inbound threats. For Russian forces accustomed to defending against rudimentary kamikaze drone attacks, these upgraded capabilities represent a new challenge. December 5th incident. The night of December 5th marked a turning point in the evolution of the conflict in Ukraine. As Russian helicopters and Raptor patrol boats moved in to intercept the approaching Sea Babies in Kerch Bay, they had no idea what the Ukrainian naval vessels had in store for them. Through the darkness, the drone's thermal and infrared cameras tracked multiple targets simultaneously. With their targeting interfaces displaying real-time data, they automatically calculated firing solutions as the Russian helicopters drew near. As the Sea Baby's guns sprang into action, the Mi-8s were forced to break off their attack rounds, the pilots suddenly finding themselves on the defensive. When the Raptor patrol boats attempted to intervene, they too came under precise machine gun fire. The targeting reticles, visible in footage released by the Ukrainian Security Service, showed the drone's state-of-the-art ballistic guidance systems at work, automatically adjusting for target movement and environmental conditions. The system's ability to compensate for the motion of the waves, allowing the Sea Babies to maintain deadly accuracy despite the choppy waters. Intercepted Russian radio communications revealed mounting chaos, as pilots reported significant damage to their aircraft and several casualties among their crews. But the Sea Babies weren't finished. While some engaged the Russian defenders, others pressed on toward their primary target, a barge carrying military equipment and supplies for repairs to the Crimean bridge. The Russians had been struggling to restore the strategic crossing after previous Ukrainian attacks, and now these new drones were threatening to further disrupt their efforts. The Security Service of Ukraine reports that the barge was hit successfully. Meanwhile, the Russian Ministry of Defense claims to have intercepted 2 Ukrainian naval drones in the area. But regardless of disputed details of what really happened that night, one thing is certain. This was no longer just about sinking ships. This was a bold move by the Ukrainians to assert their control of the area. Strategic significance. The December 5th engagement exposed a fundamental shift in naval warfare that went far beyond the debut of new weapons. For months, Russia had been developing countermeasures against their rivals' kamikaze drone boats, from helicopter patrols to sophisticated coastal defenses. But now, the equation has changed dramatically, as the enhanced Sea Babies are able to engage the very aircraft and patrol boats tasked with stopping them, the significance of which has not been lost on naval strategists worldwide. A platform that combines modern targeting systems precision with unmanned vessels expendability represents a major step in maritime combat. For a fraction of the cost of a traditional warship, a group of drones may be able to challenge the dominance of conventional naval forces. The implications stretch far beyond the current conflict. Small nations and non-state actors, previously unable to establish a maritime presence due to the massive expense of larger military vessels, now have a potential pathway to sea power. The ability to deny access to strategic waterways might soon be within reach of any group that can master this technology, a development that could reshape maritime security across the globe. The race to develop countermeasures is already underway, but the breakthrough can't be undone. The same technology that allows these drones to challenge helicopters and warships today could potentially be adapted to carry even more powerful weapons tomorrow. In the murky waters of modern maritime warfare, Pandora's box has been opened, and there's no telling what might emerge next.